Today, on Be Something Wonderful, take your manifesting game to a whole new level. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I didn't have any coaching sessions scheduled yesterday on the 4th of July, but I did read 2 comments from 2 of our subscribers that were very interesting, and I want to share those today. One of them was from one of our subscribers that she said that she's manifested everything with the technique of I remember when. This is the Neville Goddard technique of remembering. For instance, if it's money you want, remembering when you were broke. If it's love in your life that you want, remembering when you were lonely. That implies that you're not lonely anymore and you're not broke anymore. I want to talk about that. And she mentioned that she has manifested everything with that one technique. So I want to talk about the power on that, and then I want to take it to a whole new level, what I call next level Neville, or next level Neville Goddard. Also, there was a comment on one of my videos from a subscriber when I was talking about the I am, and I referred to before Abraham was, I am. Jesus was talking to the people, revealing the truth that makes you free, right? The truth that you're one with God, that you're an eternal being, that you've always existed. And I use this quote that Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. And in Scripture, it's before Abraham was, comma, I am. And then one of you went in to talk about Neville Goddard, talk about some of the scholars that said that the comma is in the wrong place, right? And I think you went into further to say, Tom, you need to correct that. and so I just want to say, guys, that I was very deliberate to put exactly what's in Scripture. Before Abraham was, comma, I am. Now, I understand that there were manuscripts before that the verses weren't set out, that the grammar wasn't even in place, that it was just all the words together. I get all that, and I understand the power of placing a comma or comma placement. I remember I used to teach English. So I think you said the correct way is before Abraham, comma, was I am. Referring to what Jesus was really trying to imply here was that before time, before everything, there was just God. I am. Right? That's what the implication was. And I'm here to say that the placement of the comma doesn't matter. That's why I wasn't concerned with it. I know Neville talks about it. I know other scholars talk about it and make it a big point. But guys, I encourage you to go beyond what others say. Remember, Neville was an amazing spiritual teacher, but you have to have your own inner authority. You got to tap into your own knowing, as well as the scholars. I know the point they were trying to make, that before Abraham, comma, was I am, I am was always there. I get it. But even if you say this, before Abraham was, comma, I am, it doesn't really change the meaning in this case. Because what really was is irrelevant. I would take out the was. Because really it's just before Abraham, comma, I am. Do you see it? That's what Jesus was getting at. And even before is not needed. It's just Abraham and I am. Because time is irrelevant. Time doesn't exist. So contemplating what the ancients were trying to say, and where they were trying to put the comma, or where the comma should be, makes no sense, because was doesn't even matter. Was implies that there was a past. And I'm saying there is no past. Time doesn't matter. It's just before Abraham, I am, or in the beginning, God. Just Abraham, I am. Right before the world, before time and space, I am. So, and you know I love you, to this subscriber who I go back and forth with many times. This comes from pure love. That it just doesn't matter. I get it. I read all those lectures. I know what the scholars were saying. This is the power. The power is because sometimes when we get caught up in trying to make a point like that, we lose the whole point of the video, right? And I think you just responded by that. The video wasn't about where the comma was placed. The video was that time doesn't exist. God is just God. in that in the beginning God, but there is no beginning, there is no end. It's just God in eternity, and you and me and everything else, right? And so this is what Jesus said: you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. What is the truth? Your father, and then he goes on to say, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. This is what he replies to the crowd when they say Abraham was our father. You're saying that you're barely 50 years old. He was well before 50 years old, right? He wasn't even near 50 years old. But that was their point. How could you know Abraham, right? It's the I am that was talking, not Jesus the man. I am, that eternal being, that spiritual you, that always is, was, and will ever be. That's why Jesus said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. I am. And he saw it and was glad. In other words, saw the eternal nature of I am, of that being within. That's big. Let's hit this a little bit more. What is the truth that will set you free? That the past is not the source or cause of the present. That's the truth. It's bigger than that, but I want to start here, right? This is pretty big. The past is not the source or cause of the present. You are. I am is. Do you get it? I am creates everything. When? In the moment of now, right? It is your belief in linear time that the past is the cause or source of the present that keeps you in bondage. That's the truth that will set you free. It's just because of that belief that the past is the source of your present, and the present is the source of your future, that keeps you in bondage. Therefore, the apparent cause of the present is your belief in the past and not the past itself. Do you hear this? You keep thinking, we think sometimes that the past is the source of our problems or even our joys in the present, whatever you're living right now. But it's not, it's our belief in it. Because the past doesn't exist. It's our belief in linear time that creates that. There's only one moment in creation, and that moment is now. Wow. The creative act is always belief, right? So one of the biggest limiting beliefs is that the past is fixed and unchangeable. A belief that the past is the source of the present, and the present is the source of the future. Or in other words, that time runs like a river from the past to the present to the future. Right? And we debunked that and said times right now, it's more like a lake where it goes out from the now moment. Right? We're going to see this in a few minutes. Remember, God is source. In God, your I am can only be found in the now. That's what Jesus was getting at. God doesn't know anything about commas and punctuation. He doesn't care about punctuation, right? So imagination is reality. Right? So when you are remembering, or in other words, imagining something from the past, you are creating it right now. I've talked about this. Remembering is an imaginal act. Right? Whether you're remembering something from the past or remembering something that will be in the future, you're still remembering it. Creation's finished. Right? And you're remembering it, and when you do, it's proof or evidence of who you believe yourself to be. Can you believe? So whatever you're remembering, if it's a good memory or a memory that is not a good memory, when you remember it, it's acting as proof or evidence of who you believe yourself to be or who you are now. Wow. Evidence of your identity, evidence of your concept of yourself. That's big. That's big. So you believe in your past. And because you believe in your past, that's why you're recreating it in the now moment, because belief's the creative act. So you're having remembering is an imaginal act of recreating the past, right? Recreating it in this now moment. It doesn't exist if you don't remember it or you remember it differently. But we can use that power, as one of our subscribers said when she uses I remember when. Because we have such a strong belief in the past, we can use that I remember when technique to create what we want right now and in the future, right? But that limiting belief also provides you with a powerful technique to create your own reality. I remember when. The example that I used earlier, I remember when I was single lonely, and broke. When you say that, when you do that imaginal act, what's the implication? Because remember, all the power, all the potency is what the imaginal act implies. What does this imply? The power and potency is in the implication. It implies, this imaginal act implies that you're no longer in that unwanted state, that you're no longer single, you're no longer lonely, and you're no longer broke. Right? You're hooked up with love, you're hooked up with wealth, you're hooked up with everything you want to be. That's the power of I remember when. It can be used, the past, this memory of our past, this belief in the past in linear time, can be used to our advantage to be, do, or have whatever we want right now and in the future. That's powerful. This is big. When you are remembering anything from your past, you are just remembering perceptions. Hear this. And all those perceptions are partial, incomplete images of all that is. So it's not only that when you remember a past event, that's an imaginal act, and you're imagining something, creating it in the now moment. But it's even bigger than that. You're just remembering a past perception, or what you think is a past perception. And those perceptions were partial and only less than 1.1% of all there is in the first place. And then if you have a bad memory, you're even remembering less of it. Do you see how it's all, guys, nothing is as it seems. Nothing. Right? You can mold it to whatever you want. There's so much power in this. I have a bad memory is a gross understatement. Right? When you say I have a bad memory, you're not kidding. So now is the only moment from which all realities, all perceptions, and all time flows. Now is the only moment. Remember, we talked about the lake of infinity. You're in the middle of it. You're in now moment. And what ripples out from now is you throw pebbles in of beliefs, of assumptions, of memories. You're creating a whole new realities. These realities are emanating or rippling out from you in the now moment. You're creating all these ripples of past and future events right from the moment of now. Do you see this? As you think, feel, and believe in the now moment. It's all coming out from you. And really, they're not even apart from you. It's more like this. You're at the center of all time, and it's more really around you, within you. It comes out from you, right? Your current focus, attention, intention mean what you intend to have, what you intend to be, what you intend to do, and your attention on it, your awareness, your light, or in other words, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings create the past you are remembering in the future you are imagining. I'm going to say this one more time because this is big right here, guys. This awareness, your current focus, your current intention, desire, your current attention, where you're putting your awareness, where you're putting your light, what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you're feeling, creates the past you are remembering in the future you are imagining right now. They are both they all are mental images or imaginal acts now in the all time. A memory is just an image, and remembering is just an imaginal act you believe happened in some illusionary past. But the memory or image is created in the now moment by what you believe or feel or assume. Whew. That's powerful. That's so big. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is as it seems because there is no time. The past and future are being created right now through your current focus, through your current awareness, what you're believing, right? It's next level Neville Goddard. It's quantum revision is what we're talking about, right? So try this. Two ways to go at this. There are others, but let's try these two. Bend time and space by remembering things differently. As I've talked about many times from the Solaris movie, I remembered her wrong. Somehow I remembered it all wrong. I got it all wrong, right? So you can use the I remembered when technique. I put a link below for a video that I did on April 3rd, just before the channel blew up. I think we're at 3,000 followers. And then it blew up. Before the end of the month, we were over 10,000 or even at 15,000. So some of you might not have even seen this video, but I left a link below, right? I remember when technique. And then here's another way to do it. Remembering your wish fulfilled in the past. So as opposed to imagining it as some event that's already happened in the future, in imagined future, remember it as something already happened in the past. Create the image of your wish fulfilled that it already happened. Do you hear the power in this? Now you're not waiting for it. Now you're not expecting it. It's done. You're just living it. It's the next level Neville, right? It's the supercharged revision. It's the supercharged revision. It's a supercharged revision. It's a supercharged imaginal act, right? Because everything is happening right now. When you imagine your desired future, or rewrite, or remember the wish already fulfilled, you are revising, you're recreating, you're rewriting all time completely new identity and a completely new concept of yourself. You're creating a complete new identity and a complete new concept of yourself. When? Right now. How? By imagining things differently in the past. By creating a new past, you create a new present, you create a new future, you create a new you. That's big. That is how you're manifesting. That's how to take your manifesting game to a whole new level. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. That is an open group. That's for all of you to join anytime. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron. Keep in mind that the content right now is similar, but that's going to change very soon. Promise. So there's going to be all sorts of things happening. And you can also visit our website at tomcaron.com or besomethingwonderful.com. With great light, with great love, with infinite gratitude, creators, see you soon.